Different types of translation. Pragmatic translation. It consists in that the text to be translated takes into account the linguistic and culture of the target language, but maintaining the meaning and message of the original language. The next one is formalistic equivalence. In this type of equivalence, the translator tries to keep the rhymes, words, or idioms of the target language that are assimilate to the original text. Invariants are characteristics in the sour text that is essential that the target text convey, however different it might be in other respects. In other words, is what defines the limit of how far the translation is considered equivalent. Color propose equivalent frameworks that are correspondence, dynamic equivalence, formal equivalence, denotative equivalence, and connotative equivalence. The concept and function of a cultural filter. The cultural filter is a means of transposing between the original text and the target text that does not result in something literal. These cultural differences must be identified at all levels of analysis. This can be provided by cross-cultural research, which then supports the specific cultural filters of language pairs. It is important to note that incumbent translation assumption of cultural difference must be carefully examined before the translator intervenes on the meaning of the original. The controversy over equivalence. Criticisms of the use of equivalence as a central concept for translation often presupposes a rather narrow view of equivalence based on formal, syntactic, and lexical similarities alone. Two texts can be equivalent even where there is a little formal correspondence between them. Critics of the concept of equivalence have also suggested defining it to mean simple the relation between a target text and source text whenever these are of equal communicative value. It is necessary to make the concept more precise, distinguish between a text is a translation and one that is some sort of adaptation version of the original. An analytic framework for establishing equivalence. Translation should have an equivalence function which is used in a particular context or situation. Text and context interact with each other with a connection between social and functional organization of language. One way to compare text is the use of the following concepts. Feel. This captures the subject matter of topic. Tenor. This refers to the nature of the participants. Mode. Refers to the channel of communication. The result of this analysis is a textual profile, the way that the text relates to a particular contextual factor.